Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to look at how we can create functions and how we can use functions in Python. First, let's understand what is a function. So functions are organized and reusable block of code. Suppose we have n number of lines which we want to use in our program multiple times. So we cannot just copy and paste those lines whenever required. So we need some alternative. So that alternative is a function. So we write those lines in a function and we can call that function n number of times without repeating those lines. So that is the meaning of function. Then also we use function to provide modularity. What is the meaning of modularity here? So every single .py file in Python we called it a module. Suppose we have two modules and in this particular module we have one function and we want to consume that function in another module. So at this time we use functions to do that. So in this module we write one function and we import this particular module in this particular module and we can consume that function. So that is also another use of function, that is provide modularity. Now let's see how we can create functions and how we can use functions in Python. To create function, we need a keyword called def. So we can see here, def is a keyword in Python. Then, separated by space, we need to provide the function name followed by parenthesis, then semicolon. So inside this block, we can write those n number of lines which we want to repeat in a program. So when I execute this particular block of code, we can see the function, this particular print statement is executed. Next, we can also use function to return some value. So here we use function to perform some operation, but we can also use function to return some value after performing operations. And here you can see I created one function and this particular function is returning us a string, and we are storing that string in a variable and we are just displaying that variable, and here you can see function is printed. We can return n number of values from a function. So it is not restricted that how many values you can return from a function. So we can have a multiple return values. So here we can see I'm returning two strings, function and hello. And this is how I'm storing that result separated by comma to variables. And when I'm printing that, we can see hello function is printed. One special case in multi-return function, let's say we don't know how many return values we are expecting from a function. At the time we can use this asterisk followed by a variable name, and in this variable name whatever the return values are, it will be stored as a tuple or list. And here you can see when I'm returning three strings, the first string is stored under this variable, but we don't know how many rest, so we can directly store that as a list in another variable using this asterisk followed by variable name. We can pass a parameter into a function to perform its operation. For example, in this particular function, I'm passing 1000 as a parameter, so we can use that parameter value in our process. And when I'm executing this code, we can see passed parameter is 1000. Similar to multi-return functions, we can have n number of parameters that we can pass to a function. And here you can see I passed two parameters, integer 1000 and integer 2000, and you can see the passed parameters 1000 and 2000. And suppose we don't know how many parameters we are going to pass to a particular function. At that time we can similarly use asterisk followed by our parameter name, and we can pass n number of parameters. So here we can see there are only two parameters, but we pass three parameters, but the second parameter is starting with asterisk, so it can consume the rest of the parameter. And here you can see the passed parameters are 1000, which is A, and then 2000 and 3000 considered as a tuple in variable B. So this is how we can pass n number of parameters to an function. So this is how we can create and use functions in Python. Thank you everyone.